After Paul and co. left Philippi, they spend time traveling through more of the Mediterranean region. In Acts 17, Luke describes the travels through Thessalonica, Berea, and Athens. Athens, or really Greece in general, is especially interesting given its rich history and relevance in the time leading up to and immediately following Jesus' life. It was a major hub of culture, and influence on philosophy was so great that even today we look back to men like Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle, alongside scripture of course, to help make sense of the world. Paul, being both a Jew and a Roman citizen, was no stranger to the philosophers of the Greco-Roman day, and Luke tells us that Paul spent some time talking with some Epicurean and Stoic philosophers while he was in Athens. These two categories of philosophers may not be as well known as the trio I mentioned before, so who were they? For the sake of time and modern relevance, I'll focus today on the Stoics. Stoic philosophy, or Stoicism, goes all the way back to almost 350 BC and heavily focuses on the notion of virtue. Well, what's virtue? According to the Stoics, it's basically possessing a will that perfectly harmonizes with nature. Not like trees and animals' nature, but the natural law. They did not view external things, such as fame, fortune, health, or pleasure, as good or bad in and of themselves. They considered these things as simply potential instruments through which people can exhibit virtue. They also loathed emotions as a potential detriment towards one's ability to live a truly virtuous life, as emotions seldom, if ever, smoothly coexist with logic and reason. That's why today someone who generally has their emotions in check might be called Stoic. Also, there has been debate for quite some time about whether or not Paul's Christian theology ought be understood from a Jewish perspective or a Greek/Stoic perspective, and for much of church history, Paul the Stoic has generally won that debate. It's actually a far more interesting discussion than it probably sounds like, but for now, that's enough for this historical minute.